What's up, everybody? Apologies for the tardiness. Here's what happened. And this is legit stuff here. This is all crazy, and you might get it if you're a pet owner. Here's what happened. So the cat needed a different kind of food. She went to the vet this weekend. The vet decided, let's give her a different kind of food and all that stuff. And so I had no idea tonight what to feed the cat. So I had to make a phone call and be like, okay, what am I supposed to give her right now? And that's why I'm on late, because I had to call because the cat needs to eat, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what happened. Now, tonight, for the Monday Night Toypixx live stream, we're going to be talking about how best to shoot your robot action figures or Transformers, Gundam model kits, whatever. Things that I figured out. Plus, I'm hoping that several of you are in the chat that are going to be able to help me when it comes to shooting those things, because I'm finding there is a difference between trying to get a really cool Optimus Prime shot versus trying to get a real cool Batman shot. Most of it hinges on trying to make Prime look metallic, whereas Batman, he really doesn't need to look all that metallic unless he's in Arkham armor or something. I don't know. So that's what's going on. So for those catching this on the replay, what are some photo tricks you have that you use for your robot action figures? Let me know in the comments. Now, with all that said, it is time to say hello to the chat, starting as usual with our man Sci-Fi George, who's keeping us up to date on all things action figure photography related. Well, action figure related. We throw in the photography as the live stream goes on. So any newcomers, thank you and welcome. It's going to be fun tonight. I can feel it. Basically because it's fun every night. Sci-Fi, greetings and toytations, everyone. Greetings and toytations, Sci-Fi. Four Horsemen revealed two new figures for their Infinite Legions line on Friday. Both are available on their site. Psylocke versus Thanos Gamerverse 2-pack sold out on, I'm going to guess, Target. It's either Target or Friday. That's my game. Let's see what goes on. On Target. Yes. Site within 8 minutes. Oh my God. Toy Snowman in Canada also sold out. The Wraith Praetorian from Balaverse wound up going live midday on Saturday instead of Friday with a limit of 3 per person. And I don't have anything. I don't have any guesses for that and. So I'm just going to click the button and we'll see what we've got. Sold out within the hour. Wow. Congratulations, Bobby V. I nabbed 3. Hoping to get a translucent one. Rumors abound that there will be an upcoming Hulk wave. Yes, UFO's gift pack on Amazon. Please, Eddie. Savage Crucible have announced something. I'm guessing announced something. I don't know that wording is perfectly accurate. Probably not. Have shown pics of their Wave 2 all-human barbarians. This must be the year of Conan, because everyone is doing a version of him. Things aren't looking well for the Fantastic Four film after test screenings and being seen. I got nothing. My guessing game is, well, it's weak. It's weak tonight. Referred to as the Femtastic Four, a more sensitive Johnny Storm for a modern audience. Reed and Ben being more background with Sue and Shala Ball as the boss babes. It ain't sounding good. The Fantastic Four always works better when each team member got like equal billing. Oh man. Oh well. That's what I fear for X-Men as well. That's what I didn't like about the X-Men movies. Wolverine always got all the screen time. Let's see. Sci-Fi, quote, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. What a revolting development this is. Looks like Superman is our beacon of hope this July. By the way, if you see me just like swiping things like this, there's ants. The counter is totally clean, and yet there's ants. I'm confused. Even wiped down. I don't think I put any cubes of sugar down. So anyway, looks like Superman is our beacon of hope this July, even though they just changed his motto to truth, justice. Well, they didn't just change that. That's been different for a long time. Let's see. Truth, justice, and plasma effects. Wait, what? Hold on. I might have missed something. Hang on. Truth, justice, and the no. All right. We're just gonna go back with that. And the he got rid of whatever was next. Plasma effects for the same old bodies, MSRP $100. Now back to you, Dave, and the incredible non-edible chat. We are not tasty people. At least that's what the cannibals say. They were fine and young, and I don't know what that means. John, what is going on, sir? Thank you very much for getting a hold of us tonight, hanging out, having some fun. By the way, folks, Mr. Spencer tried sending me an ALF to my new address at Toypixx, and it was returned to him because they said that that address is vacant. Now I'm there, but apparently I need to go to the post office to do something. Ah, so much red tape. I always hate keeping the red tape gun full, especially for other people. Skew, what is going on, Skew? Thanks for saying hi to the people. Always appreciate it, man. Good to see you here. And I know you've been sending me stuff. I had a wedding this weekend, guys. So, like from Friday till yesterday, I was completely out of commission. It was exhausting. And when I say, what's up, Clank? Good to see you, man. When I say that I had a wedding, I had to actually shoot a wedding, like snap and all that. And I hate doing that. It was only the second one I've ever done. And it's because my friends really asked me to do it. Even when I said, guys, look, I'm a product photographer. I don't shoot people. They're like, we know. Shoot our wedding anyway. All right. Fortunately, I had to look at the pictures today, and I think they're going to be all right. Whew. Anyway, Star, hey gang. Woo, ASQ, Spence, Sci-Fi. Clank. Hello, Paul. Good to see you, man. Oh man, I love it. Digging it. People. It's the way. It's the way to welcome the people into the chat. Always appreciated. Star, this show's gonna hurt. I've been only a few weeks Transformers sober. Now this? That's cold, man. Ah, but you know what isn't cold, Star? Or maybe it is, because this is the thing you had on me. This weekend, I said I was done pretty much through yesterday. Well, I got home about in the afternoon and I watched two movies. One of them was The Accountant 2. Excellent. If you guys have seen the first Accountant, I think Accountant 2 was pretty good. The other one was Godzilla Minus One. And ladies and gentlemen, what everyone I heard say about that movie was absolutely true. It was amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch Godzilla Minus One when you have time. And you're welcome to take plenty of time. Lord knows I did. Now, let's keep going. What's up, Ghost Tab? Good to see you, man. Whoo! What's up, Pixelated Poses? Thank you for stopping in tonight. What do we have, Star? I just can't get back into TFs without my 3 zeros. Maybe going back to Flame Toys, but money! You know, the Flame Toys model kits, though, like if you say to yourself, I'm only going to get the Flame Toys, like the, what is it, Fury Action, where they build the model themselves and paint it up, they only release like one of those every 1 or 2 years. So if you do that, you might be okay. Ah, ants, why? See, that's just me going, die, ants, die. Not very Buddhist of me. All right. What have we? Whee, whee, whee. What do we have, Clank? I'm excited for this one. I love Transformers, and they're the main part of my collection. They're fun to shoot, but they need different approach compared to regular ones. Well, that's true, Clank. And if you have any ideas, let me know. I had a people that have been watching the channel for a while know kind of what happened with me when it came to Transformers. I had ended up picking up some of the first Studio Series 86 group and some of the Earthrise Transformers, and the quality was so bad I got rid of them and hadn't picked up a Transformer until I saw that the Constructicons were going to be made for Devastator. So that was several years I went without getting any Transformers. So I started getting some. I feel like the quality is much better, so I'm okay with it. So now what I'm looking at is, oh man, I really got to build up G1 Season 1 and probably a whole lot of other G1 as I go. And then I'll want to dive into the other continuities because I like them all. I mean, I am a Transformers guy. I am not. It's not that I'm a G1 only guy, but it is that G1 does hold that near and dear nostalgic place in my heart. Spaded, giggity, giggity, giggity. Sorry, I added some giggities there for you. Let's see. Woo, new guy here. Motu Prince. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a blast. And if it's not, I blame only me. Ghost have, when in doubt, put chicken breast in water and start cooking it. No spices, plain chicken broth. Cats and dogs love. Ghost have, I like it, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This cat, she's 18. Chicken broth would probably be perfect. I find that beef is too rich for her. So that part sucks. But chicken, that might be an excellent call. Thank you. All right. Love it. Ba-da-da-da-da. Sorry, went McDonald's there for us. Star, would photographing bots include going high contrast, making those highlights really bright, and countering with the darks in order to emphasize a metallic look? Star, that is one thing that I would absolutely go with. I'd hit one side with hard light and maybe even kind of try and backlight it a little bit while you're hitting one side with hard light. You hit it with really harsh light on one side, you're going to get the darker light on the other side or a lot of shadow. But then you want to play with other stuff. Like I would do that. And I would also, I'll show you real quick because I did call this up. Let's present. If you guys don't have one of these, I do recommend them. They're not crazy expensive. I just found one that was, what is this? 43 inch. I have a 12-inch one, and I think it was around 13 or 14 bucks. But these reflectors here, see that aluminum foil looking one? And you could obviously do this with aluminum foil as well, but these reflectors are good for most anything you would shoot. So they're like a 5-in-1, and that aluminum foil one, when you bounce light off of it, gives a really interesting shine to plastics. So I would use that. It's something that I've been trying to use when it comes to Transformers a little more. So give that a look if you guys don't have one of these things. And like I say, if you want to just try it out before investing in a reflector, if you've got some aluminum foil around the house, wrap a plate in it and try pointing that at a transformer and see what happens. But that was one of the tips that we were going to get into anyway. Ghost have, what have ye? Sue has been the leader, but she is known for being the heart and moral compass of the team. That is true. That is true. I would say for the most part, she is pretty much the heart of the team. Reed's the leader, but Ben and Johnny, they clearly have their parts to play. And I've just always seen it as a much more of a team approach. Now, obviously, equal screen time for all of them makes it so somebody doesn't shine like maybe they should. I don't know. I don't know. I hope, because I've heard some of this too. And I just hope it ends up being more of a team movie than what we're hearing. It is what I'm like I said in the past, I don't care for the Fantastic Four as much as X-Men. Obviously, I want the Fantastic Four movie to be awesome. I want Superman, like I need Superman to be awesome. I want the Fantastic Four to be awesome. But just like I need Superman to be awesome, when they get into the X-Men, they better not screw that up. I need the X-Men to rule. Star, what? Not again, Disney. And I thought that I was wasteful with money. Well, there's a reason I don't want any of these corporations, specifically Disney, touching anything else I love. I don't ever want to see them with G.I. Joe or Transformers. The company that owns them doesn't do a great job when it comes to those from time to time. I definitely don't want them getting licensed out for Disney to make movies of them. When doing Transformers and Gundam, I like to emphasize their size by using low and close camera angles and taking them outside. Ah, very nice. So kind of a worm's eye view. That's a cool idea, Clank. I appreciate it. I don't like to take my stuff outside so much. I like to try and set up as much as I can in a studio setting, but I could definitely incorporate that low angle shooting. Skew, truth, justice, and the plasma effects. Ouch. Massive yellow sunburst here. Heal. Yeah, there is that. Human way instead of American way. Gunn originally had it in the movie. Ah, okay, sci-fi. Gotcha. Gotcha. He originally had American way? Because I don't know. Like, Superman has kind of become. I like truth, justice, and the American way because of what America is supposed to stand for, whether we agree it does or doesn't. I like it because it should be something along those lines, but at the same time, Superman has become much more than just America. So I get that change. That change doesn't bother me as much, I don't think, as some people. They're going to learn. Yeah. Ghost Tab, if you want to be a good wedding photographer, don't take to one ear to give the couple their photos. Speaking from experience. Ghost Tab, I don't ever want to shoot another wedding. Don't worry. So I was looking at the pictures. I'm going to make a few adjustments, like the shadow was a little harsh. I couldn't get my speed light to work. So I'm going to have to make some shadow adjustments and all that stuff. But overall, they came out pretty well. So I'm gonna get them done as quickly as I can and get them to them so I don't have to think about it anymore. Yeah, welcome home day. Thank you, Star. There's also a Predator animated anthology on Hulu and Disney Plus. 3 different era stories, all connected. I saw that there was an animated Predator thing, but I didn't know where to find it. I didn't know it was on Disney Plus, so maybe I will check that out. Ghost Tab, Dave, watch Godzilla -1. We are genuinely proud of you. Yes, thank you, Ghost Tab. Honestly, I was pretty blown away. It was really cool. The only thing that threw me off, for those who've seen it, is the very end. I was like, how's that even possible? But I mean, it's been out for a while, so I guess we could spoil it. But those who've seen it know what I'm talking about. Skew Nerd Cred, elevated to Gold Star, Arsenio Hall, Cabbage Patch Celebration tier. Cabbage Patch. I suck at dancing. Keep at it, Dave. Not a bad nerd. -1 is a mother load. It was fantastic. I was really glad. That's honestly, I think, the first kaiju movie I've seen all the way through, and I thought it was great. At Sci-Fi, Disney better stop dumping. Run DMC dump. Oh, Disney's, I think they're improving, but there are still some things that hopefully they'll get straightened out before the X-Men show up. Spaded One, Transformers somehow missed my childhood entirely. Nobody I knew was into them at all. Wow. My childhood was basically Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Star Wars. Like, everybody would check out G.I. Joe and Transformers. That was kind of the talk of everything the next day after the episodes were on. That's kind of amazing, Spaded One, actually. Star Skew Raider, the sooner the better, though I thought they would have learned after the loss of the first billion. I wish I knew a lot more about the economics of the movie business, but I just don't know quite enough. I've heard that a movie needs to make anywhere between 2 to 3 times its budget back, its production budget, generally. So, and I'm sure that some reshoots are figured into that initial budget, but maybe not. So, I mean, if a movie costs $200 million, it needs to make anywhere from 400 to $600 million to break even. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully it's good enough to do that. I don't know what it costs to make, but who knows? Good robot poses, in my opinion, are robot punching his hand. Oh, robot touching the ground with one hand. Code Geass. Robot touching the ground. Like, is the hand flat or is he so punching his hand? So kind of like this, I assume, right? And then when robot's touching the ground, is he touching it like this? Help me out, Ghost Tab, because yeah, posing is something that I'm not so great at with them either. Especially since I've been getting the Hasbro ones more so than the 3.0 ones, and they obviously don't pose quite as well. Star, goofy voice, gosh, we've still got stuff to lose. I should have gone with maybe the question. We've still got stuff to lose. I'm not very good with goofy. Pixelated. They are robots, not people. So do you still want to put them in more human-like poses? It's tricky, pixelated. It's hard for me because some of the stuff I would assume still works the same. Like if you're punching and twisting like this, and we know robots are punching, at least what we've seen on movies and cartoons and all that, then I would think if you're punching like this, you're still moving at the waist, and your left leg, if you're punching with your right arm, is trying to, it's a little more forward to help balance you. Your right leg is back. There are things that I think would be the same, but there are also things that could be totally different. Like you could have, I think Megatron did this in one episode where he just totally twisted his waist around and flipped over or something like that. Like you could do things like that with Transformers, and depending on how the articulation works, I don't know. I haven't really thought of that, but that's a good point too. I might be thinking about that a little more. Okay. Skew Toypixx. Craig Ferguson is proud of your nerd cred achievement unlocked. Yes. Craig Ferguson is the man. Man, I wish he still had a late night show. He was truly the last of the funny late night guys, I think. These ants, I don't get it. They're everywhere. All right, Skew, I wonder just how close to reality that comment actually lands. So sad. Gosh. Ghost have, what have we? All right, let's see. I always saw giant robots more like animals to people. So a beast like pose does seem to do the trick when I don't know what to pick as a pose. So a beast like, so something where, like right now, the way that you said that, I'm picturing trying to turn a robot into kind of a gorilla. Like, obviously, Optimus Primal would get this done. But what I'm thinking of is kind of shoulders forward a little bit, maybe like this. I don't know. I should have Prime here. Of course, I don't. But I'm not sure. A beat, because usually when I think beasts, I think four legs. So a robot just kind of running on all fours or going more gorilla like. Am I thinking King Kong? Should I? I don't know. Everything I think about when you say beast, since most robots seem to have two legs, is gorilla style. So help me out, Ghost Tab. Give me some poses. Think specifically if you can if you can come up with anything, because that would be awesome. Spaded. Let Ben Grimm be a college football player. You MCU cowards. Who are these skinny Benjamins? Oh dear. Goes to Reed is all about brains, but no heart. Facts. He has always been extremely egocentric. He's more similar to Doctor Doom than most people realize. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four guy, but I could totally see how he's much closer to Doctor Doom just because he is all brains. Clank, the post depends on the bots. A Zaku, in my opinion, should move more human like, whereas a movie Decepticon could be more aggressive and animalistic in movement. That's something to think about too, guys. So, what Clank brings up here is, and something maybe Ghost Tab was alluding to as well, if we did something like took, now I know I'm not the biggest Bayverse fan, but if we took how the Transformers moved in Bayverse and applied it more to, say, the Transformers like the G1 bots or Armada or whatever, then maybe we'd get some really interesting looks. I know I keep just whack, but that's a good idea too. So I don't know, like, I mean, if I were into the Bay Transformers, I would totally do that. But now thinking about it, the way you bring that up, it would be fun to try posing some of the Decepticons in kind of, I mean, Starscream, sometimes when he moves in the Bayformers, when he's walking all kind of cowardly, he has kind of a gorilla posture a little bit, like a cowardly gorilla, but Yeah, that's a cool idea, Clank. I know that you didn't necessarily think along those lines, but what you had there made me think along those lines, so I appreciate it. Star, what would be the opposite of the Midas touch? Whatever it is, Disney has it in space. I'm telling you, I think they're going to be forced to get better. We'll see. I hope so anyway. Skew, the Dios can really bot it up. Use that hallway, brick something, and others got on BBTS. That's another idea. Hang on, I didn't call that up, but I think that thing is pretty awesome. And of course, I don't have it. And the only Dio I have coming my way right now is the Musk, which is going to be an awesome Dio, but it's not going to be perfect for Transformers. Oh, and there it is. The reissue is gone. So this is what you're looking for. If anybody can find the ubiquitous UB01LS diorama set anywhere else, then this is the one that Skew's talking about. And then as I'm looking a little more, hang on, let me make sure. Oh, sorry guys, I had the wrong thing called up. This is why I need two monitors. So here it is, the ubiquitous UB01LS diorama set. Diodes like that are definitely going to plus up your Transformers. So that one's very cool. I like the more machined look. And then we've got this that's still in stock that can do the same kind of thing. It just doesn't have all the fancy lights. So look for these kinds of diodes, and that would be super helpful. That's something that I need to look into. I keep trying to find things that'll help out with Transformers. Something that I used to shoot with when I was doing product photography that you guys might find helpful. It's something I'm going to think about getting actually is a large aluminum sheet. And the place that I used to do a lot of product photography for, they called it a scratch plate. So it was like a large aluminum sheet that was pretty much roughed up just a little bit. It wasn't like it lost its sheen or shine entirely. It did lose some, but there were just scratches all over it, and it had a really cool look. And so something I've been thinking about doing is getting an aluminum sheet, setting them on the table in the studio, and setting it on the table in the studio, setting a monitor up behind it, and then you would have a little bit of reflection from the monitor hitting that aluminum sheet, and then Transformers could be on that. And depending on the background, I've made some robot style backgrounds, but depending on the background, it would look like it was maybe Cybertron a little bit or Cybertronian. You'd still want to pick up some other stuff to give it a little more dimension, but that might be an idea, is using a monitor with a robot type background and using just an aluminum sheet. Aluminum sheets, I don't believe, are crazy expensive. Let's look that up right now. And don't worry, this time, aluminum sheet metal. We'll just click that. This time I will make sure to show you guys what it is that I'm checking out. That's something that actually I kind of miss from my old product photography days. It's not that I miss some of the work. It wasn't fun work. I was taking pictures of bearings and gaskets and that kind of stuff, right? But one of the things I do miss is the ideas that having those parts in front of me would generate. Like I built a city out of cylinder sleeves and gaskets and all that stuff. And it was really cool. And now I'm looking at it going, man, if I had some of those cylinder sleeves and if I had some of those other auto parts, I could build like a Cybertron set. It would be sweet. It would be really cool, but it would also be super heavy. So yeah, here we go. 12 by 17 by quarter-inch sheet metal is 26.39. A six pack of 12 by 12 by 1/64 sheets is 20.99. Now, something I would probably like, I'd probably like them a little larger. I'm trying to think of how big. I'm guessing that was probably around 30 inches to 3 feet square, the sheet I'm talking about. Been a while since I played, but what do we have here? 12 by 12 by 1/8. Yeah, I'd see if you could find a good size piece. Here we go. 2 by 4 feet, and that's 57.99. So it's not that it's super cheap, but it's something that you could always use for like any kind of robot ground. So if you're exclusively shooting Transformers, I would say this is a pretty good investment. And now I'm going to get back into the chat because you guys just keep chatting, which is awesome. Let's see, they broke that Midnight Star record. Uh-oh, I don't know what that is. I'm going to just keep going. WB needs Superman to make $1 billion and play to the world. Changing the motto seemed to occur first in Superman Returns. Okay. I think, did they change it in the movies or the comics first? I'm not sure. Animated Predator on Hulu is supposed to be fire. Ooh, I might have to check that. Pixelated, they need to respect the source material, the studios. I do agree, but the source material has changed it as well, I think. So we gotta just figure out what source, what era of source we're looking at, I guess. Sci-fi Captain Human Way just doesn't have the same punch as Captain America. Fair. Victoria Alonso, who messed up Namor, was dead set on calling the X-Men the mutants because they have so many women in the group. See, now that's something that needs to not happen, but I know she's not with them anymore. Ghost Tab Sue, I'm invisible. I'm the invisible woman. Johnny, I'm in flames. I'm the human torch. Ben, I look like a rock thing. I'm the thing. Reed, I can stretch. I'm Mr. Fantastic. Ghost Tab, that's perfect. That's actually a perfect representation of talking about how egocentric Mr. Fantastic is, about how egocentric Reed is. That's perfect. That yeah, that's good. That's good, sir. Skew reference back to Voltron and Megazord and Rebel Tech Gundam for boss poses. Ooh, that's a good call, Skew. I need to look up. That's something else, guys. You can use a lot of different references, and I did not think about that at all. I love the original Gundam movies, so I would probably go back and check those out. But then you can look up stills online to see what kind of poses you can get. What's amazing about this is I'm thinking of Transformers so much differently than I'm thinking about things like action figures, like 112 scale that we do, that I'm not even considering all the things I do already when it comes to those kinds of things. Like what Skew said there, duh, we should be referencing a lot of this stuff. And I do when it comes to the figures themselves. I'm clearly lost when it comes to the bots. Sci-fi, the plasma effects are for the new Ghostbusters 4-pack due out next year. All new head sculpts with plasma effects, but the same old bodies, MSRP 100. I did see those, and I thought the Ray and the Egon looked great. I don't think the Ernie looks so good, and obviously the Bill Murray never seems to look very good. But if I were into the Ghostbusters big time, I'd probably still get that set just because Ray and Egon look as good as they do. Ooh, that I liked. Yes. Anything that starts with Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald's ridiculous CD has an entire segment about Mr. Fantastic naming each member. It's hilarious. Norm was the big comic and cartoon nerd. Oh, I didn't know he was a comic and cartoon nerd. Norm. Norm was the man, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody hasn't seen Norm MacDonald's Weekend Update episodes, go back and just look up Norm MacDonald OJ Simpson or Norm MacDonald Weekend Update. You will laugh your butts off if you have a slight mean streak in your humor. I do, and Norm was hysterical. Actually, just look up anything with Norm MacDonald and you'll be busting a gut. Robot touching the ground with one hand, hand is open, other arm stretched to the side. Check code Geese. Lancelot launch for reference. Is it okay, Ghost Tab? Am I getting that wrong? Is it Geese? Is it Geese? Help me out. I know. I don't know things, but awesome. I appreciate the heads up. So I think I'm picturing the pose correctly, but then I'd have to look at the legs too. Let's see. Star has the what? No. Happy Monday, everyone, and remember the sunscreen. Miss Cogsmith, thank you, thank you. I should have done that this weekend so I was in Petoskey, Michigan, which is pretty north, shooting that wedding. Everything was outside, and I was outside pretty much all day on Saturday. And I don't tend to burn. I am fairly dark complected, but yeah, when I got back, I was like, I feel dehydrated everywhere. So I'm thinking sunscreen might have been a good idea. Ghost Ab, robots mimicking beast is more like an attacking predator, like about to jump at somebody or preying on their target. Okay. Okay. Like, so kind of like a tiger's getting ready to pounce, something like that. That's a cool idea too. Star, I normally compare bots to insects. To me, bugs are just little organic machines. I thought the Babers TFs hit that spot beautifully. You know, the bots that I don't have anymore. This is torture. That's okay, Star. It's okay. And the way that you illustrate that you prove that, or that you make that point works really well, actually, because that's kind of what the Decepticons reminded me of in the Bayverse as well. And you're right. I mean, if that's what they were going for, they crushed it. Gotta say, this year's nerd disclaimer because unstable molecules. I'm in. I will do that. Ah, Miss Cogsmith is here to party. It's good times, people. Now we have a quorum. Spaded one, gonna be fun seeing them eventually get to Reed's Maker arc. Pedro in full conehead makeup, ready to narfle the Garthok. Narfle the Garthok. I don't think I approve of that kind of language here, Spaded one. I don't know what that means. Star sci-fi, that certainly has a Disney ring to it indeed. No, aluminum, aluminum. Spay one, we must consume mass quantities. Maintain low tones. What? Oh God, I don't know things. Harry, what's up, sir? Appreciate you stopping in. What would be the best way to shoot low to make the robots look large? Is there a lens that would help along with the angle? I you know what helps me? So when I'm trying to get any kind of angled, real big time action shot, right? It really is just the 18 to 55 millimeter lens. Like it's the lens that comes with all the cameras. So I'm wondering, it's kind of like okay, if you're trying to shoot with a telephoto lens, you can't get that close to make that work without it just not being in focus. It would be just a huge blurry mess. So you need something that's going to allow you to get a little closer to the figure itself. And I'm thinking an 18 by 55 would be good if you're shooting indoors. Let's say you've got a monitor and obviously you want to show the robot being huge, so it's probably on the monitor would be just a big sky background or something. So you stand the robot probably close to the edge of the table. You move the monitor fairly close to the back of the robot because remember, you're just going to focus on, I don't know, maybe the head, maybe you'll focus on the legs of the robot or whatever. So the background will end up being blurry, which is fine. That's what you want anyway, probably. So you shoot down like this as close as you can get that lens to the bot. And that's why I'm bringing up the 18 by 55. I think that you can get pretty close with that lens and be okay. So that would be my first recommendation, Harry. I haven't messed with macro lenses enough to be able to sit here and tell you that that's going to work great. It might work great. It might not do so great. I just don't know. I believe with a macro lens, what you can do is you can make it so what you're trying to make clear is crazy clear, and then the blur happens faster. So you're basically just elevating the aperture, which is doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The higher aperture, the lower the number. But yeah, so you can play a lot with all of it. But right now, with my knowledge, I would say give just an 18 by 55 or 18 to 55 millimeter a try. Skew ubiquitous always reminds me of a GI space bridge too, or a G1 space bridge. Good call. That is a good call, Skew. You could even lay it down flat. That would be fun. Ah, Star cast shadows can really tech up a shot. Maybe have some light shining through vents or machinery, etc., in order to establish a mecha atmosphere. I think what the subject is surrounded by is vital. That's a good call too, guys. So something that as I was reading that I was thinking about is we all have a bunch of cords lying around. If they're not okay, so if we don't plug the cords in, and what we can do is we can strip the outline, strip the casing on the cords, and you get all the little wires inside them. That might be really cool. And I'm talking if you have just cords that you're not using, say, a USB cable that you run into your computer or whatever. Just strip the plastic off, make sure it's not plugged into anything. You don't want to zap yourself. And you can just make it look like maybe robot guts, like you'll see maybe a figure getting pulled apart, or you can add sparks to it through Photoshop or something else, make it look like it's just a machine that's broken. Like you can do things like that. But I think what Star's saying is absolutely awesome. So a lot of teching up like that with the shadows would be sweet. I'm trying to think of some small. I would love it if somebody just made tiny lights that were just tiny lights. Like a lot of the small lights you can find right now have a base, makes total sense. But if we could get something that was just tiny lights that you could just glue on, or maybe even little tiny reflectors that you could place on a background so that it looked like tiny lights, something like that, to give it more of that almost digital electrical look to it. But yeah, if you guys any ideas for stuff like that, that would be really cool. I didn't think about stripping the casing on wire until Star brought all that stuff up, but that's a great call. Spaded one, ubiquitous is perfectly generic sci-fi. It works for everything from Star Wars to Alien. That's what it looks like. Okay, let's see. The last of the Time Lords is here. Welcome, Anton. Thanks for stopping in, man. Skew, that arc and the Decepticon ship dials from Extreme Sets always help G1 2 indoors. Just do the Toypixx shine reduction techniques. I was looking for those. I can't find the Autobot one, but I can find the Decepticon one. Star Blade Runner is a wonderful example of that cast shadow concept. The mood of that entire film is unchallenged in its futuristic tech vibe. That might, guys, I'm sitting here, we're talking about using different robot imagery for reference. Star brings up a great idea. We can find most any sci fi show out there, kind of like, what was it? Who was it that just brought up Star Wars to Alien? That was, oh, yeah. Wait. Why am I so far back? Let's see. There you go. Spaded one. There it is. Yeah. You can do Star Wars to Alien. You can watch those movies, see what kind of backgrounds there are that you think would work for your robots. You can watch Tron. You can watch all these things, man. You can check out Blade Runner. Use these crazy sci-fi things. Heck, watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Now that Star is in the chat chatting, we might be able to get some really cool backgrounds out of that, or background ideas. So it's not just about using robots as like using robot images as inspiration, but possibly using inspiration from a whole lot of sci-fi films as well. That would be very cool. Anton, I had a pretty good yard sale and I sold a lot of good stuff. Met interesting people. Met a lot of interesting people. That's awesome, Anton. I'm glad it worked out for you. Let's see, did you see what they're selling at theaters for the Fantastic Four, including a Galactus bucket of popcorn? It's 80. I did see the Galactus bucket. People are saying all of us should get that just because it's going to make for an awesome Dio piece and photos. Evangelion poses and Pacific Rim too if you want more types. Oh, it's Evangelion, right? Or is it Evangelion? I don't know things, but that's a good call too. Star, there are established conventions and expectations that have to be there for any iconic story to work. If they're ignored, then that story will fail regardless of creativity. Example, Godzilla 98. There are, I think, if we're talking certain stories, certain movies, and all that, if we're talking Superman, I think the main expectation is at the end of that movie, we have to feel good about Superman. We have to feel better about the world because of Superman. So if at the end of the movie that's what happens, I think that Soups has done it. As far as expectations for other things, I don't know. But that's what my expectation would be for Superman. But you are absolutely right. There are things that need to happen. Let's see, they definitely should do the extreme Ghostbusters. I don't know. I liked the Ghostbusters cartoon, the real Ghostbusters, but you know how people are going crazy for the Mondo figures? I didn't like it that much. I thought it was okay, but people seem to really like all those things. Now, the real Ghostbusters, or extreme Ghostbusters, were extreme Ghostbusters, were those the ones that were more like Hanna-Barbera? Let's see. Rest in Power Slice Stone. Oh, I did not know that. Oof. Skew, bringing down the chat. Don't worry, man. I kid. I kid. 98 was not a bad film, but once they called it Godzilla, it was curtains. Yep, yep. There's a lot of things like that. I wonder how the G.I. Joe movies would have done if they didn't call him G.I. Joe, honestly. Anton, Norm MacDonald's really funny. He really is funny on Conan O'Brien. Once for the co-star who worked with Pauly Shore. What? Oh, I'll need to check that. But yeah, like Norm on Conan was untouchable. He was phenomenal. Like, you guys want a good time, just after this chat, of course, go out, look up just Norm Macdonald, everything. Norm Macdonald on Conan, Norm Macdonald Weekend Update, Norm Macdonald hilarious joke, like the last time he was on Letterman's show. Oh my God, that joke was good. Skew, unstable molecules in action. Nice. What's up, Alex? Good to see you, man. Anton, the Transformers openings that I really love is for the second season. I just love that I can run that over and over again. It's just the way the music is, and it's really cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet. Like the what was it when Omega Supreme? What was the Decepticon jet he grabs out of the air? Like that's just good stuff. That's from the Coneheads movie. Ah, it's been so long since I've seen the Coneheads. 42 unstable molecules, just to be safe. Even I know what 42 is referencing. I don't know. All right, so now we got to know, is 42 the answer to everything, or are unstable molecules the answer to everything? Many hitchhikers might have problems. They'd want to figure out that answer. Shooting bots in a setting akin to a film noir feel is always a hit. Ooh. Oh, Star, that sounds awesome. I didn't think of that. I did a Catwoman shot once that was film noir style. But Transformers would be incredible that way. Clank, I don't have a proper phone camera that allows me to get the lens very close to the ground, or I just move the subject close to the edge of the table and go from there. Yep, that's something that I should have brought up too, Clank, is these things right here, they make it awfully easy to get really close to stuff. And their photos, they're not bad. The one thing I can't control on here, there's a few things, but the main thing for something like that, excuse me, is ISO. And when you get super close, you can't use the exposure like the portrait mode. So the portrait mode, you have to be a certain distance from something to use it. And what the portrait mode allows you to do is set the aperture however you want. So let's say you focus on a figure's face. Well, if you're far enough back in portrait mode, you can focus on that face and all is good. And then when you edit it, you can make it so the aperture goes higher or lower, you make it blurrier, or you make it so it's clearer. all that stuff. So your cell phone can do quite a bit. And from what I understand, Google's smartphone is better. Like droids are better than iPhones. So I still need to get out there and pick up one of those droids and probably get the newest iPhone. I mean, I'm talking pictures. I need to have all the tools, right? John Clank, a professional photographer friend of mine, told me that a cell phone camera is more than enough for almost anything we would use it for. Yep, it's almost everything. Like I say, this doesn't allow me as much control as I'd like, but if they get to that point, game on. And like I said, droids allow for a lot more control. Sci-fi, for me, the best way to film robots is to put them in various poses with little signs around their necks that say, I'm a robot. That, I mean, that works. That way people know. Now, where I would get confused is if you took a picture of Spider-Man with a sign around his neck that said, I'm a robot. Skew, if you're feeling rambunctious, post them punching and stick lit sparklers in the foreground, or use Dave's Photoshop tips and downloads if you're not with that. Man, sparklers, I love the idea of sparklers. I did that once for Captain America versus Crossbone shot, and it came out pretty cool. Like, it wasn't as good as what I would have liked, but I don't know. Like, when I'm leasing a space, I'm not sure how much I want to play with actual fire, but if you're out and about outside and you're messing with that, I give sparklers a try. If you guys are into doing outdoor photography, definitely check out Sir Dork. He does a lot of that effect kind of stuff, and it's impressive what he puts together. Clank, oh yeah, these phone cameras are more than enough to get some good stuff for sure. What have I? Oh, okay. Whew, I went past all the comments. Let's see, sci-fi playing. Let's see, Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, while supposing it might help. You know what? There is something to the whole musical. It's kind of an idea. I don't know. I'm sure it's been studied. But if you're listening to something just goofy in the background, you're going to have more fun, or you're going to maybe pose things a little more goofy. And if you're listening to something really hardcore, suddenly you're going to have this much more serious shot, or your brain's just going to be in that space. So that might be honestly kind of a cool idea to try. Skew, get that Galactus head. It will get nice pics with Mezco Fantastic Four or Legends or crossovers. Man, that Mezco Fantastic Four set looks really good. The set to beat from Mezco, I think, is the Turtles. And I just, for whatever reason, skipped on them. Oh, wait, I know what reason. They were $400. So yeah, I still would love to have those someday. Let's see. What have we? AMC popcorn bucket equals Hidge. It's Hidge. It lights up. Oh, I didn't know that. Anton, love Extreme Ghostbusters. Oh, see, I don't know things. Maybe I don't. Let's see. You love the Extreme Ghostbusters. They let them be scary. Egon is older now and he leads them. You've got a golf girl, a guy in a wheelchair, a black guy, and a sort of slacker Spanish guy together. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Did I see that? Huh. 42 unstable molecules is the answer to everything. There you go, sci-fi. I was wondering. It's like, what would be the actual answer there? Let's see, Astro Train and Blitzwing. I do likes them. Oh, those were the ones that got caught in Omega. Got it. That's right. Astro Train got stepped on, didn't he? Toypixx. I sent some of my bot posts on Instagram to show how I like to shoot my TFs and other big guys. Awesome, Clank. I might go in. I might look for that on the phone. Let's see. Yes, this Time Lord knows what 42 means. Excellent. Sparklers outside. Only facts. Yeah, I think that's the better call. I don't want to burn things. I once had somebody when I was working in an office building, I was the guy people would come to just talk to because I'm assuming it's a mix of the fact that I tend to be okay with people, but also I could work while people were talking. I'm sure not as well, but I was able to keep going. He came in and he was mad about a contract. He lit it on fire and accidentally dropped it on the floor. We had to put it out, and then there was a big fire mark on my carpet. I had to try and figure out a way to explain that without getting somebody in trouble. I think Doc Knock is absolutely top tier for Mezco. It might knock Snake Eyes for my top spot. Oh, and I didn't get that Doc Knock. I want the vehicle. The vehicle is key. TF Toypixx, what's up, man? When posing Transformers, use transformation joints for added articulation options. I like that call. We were talking about possibly like twisting at the waist and things like that in ways that humans can't do it. I think that's a great call. Appreciate it, sir. Skew, Kraftwerk, We Are the Robots is also on the, let's see, Get You in the Mode playlist as well. The Touch, the 86 soundtrack. Nice. That's when you're setting up an Optimus Prime shot, the Touch playing in the background is basically mandatory. A futuristic tech look can be really fun to experiment with. Much of the city backgrounds in film are essentially just boxes with lights in them. If people just think they see something, you're gold. That's a good call too, Star. I didn't think about that, but you could use, say, you really could just get a piece of cardboard, make it so there's a lot of shadow on it. You could even just paint it black. Just take it outside, grab a spray can of black paint, spray it, maybe touch it up with a little silver just because, and poke holes in it. Get some LEDs poking through those holes, and you're set with some tech. That's a great idea, Star. I don't know why I don't think of such things. That's the thing. See, I know how to set up a shot with the stuff I have, but it's that kind of creativity that my brain doesn't go for. So, this is why I'm so stoked to have you guys on here talking about how you shoot a lot of this stuff as well. Okay, so that was the aluminum plate that I thought might be really, I mean, I'm going to get one of those. I think it's going to be a great idea and a great thing to use for robot shots, Transformers specifically. And then just while I'm here, I do want to bring up this to all of you who are maybe watching for the first time. I want to make sure that you know that this is out here. If you don't have it yet, because if you follow me on X, you probably got it. This is 100 backgrounds for action figure photography. It is a free ebook that I have on the Toypixx Patreon page. You don't need to be a member or anything. Just go in there, download it. Hope you can use it. Now, one thing that's incorrect in this book now, it used to be that code Toypixx would save you 10% on purchases at Entertainment Earth. Now that is no longer the case. They took away the vanity codes. So what you want to do if you're looking to spend 10% or to save 10% on in-stock items, because that's where the actual savings come from, either find any Entertainment Earth links that I have posted or that someone else has posted that are affiliate links, and that'll make it so you can save 10% on your in-stock purchases. So just so everybody knows, I actually need to go in and I need to edit the book so that the updated one is there with that information. Just to keep everybody posted. Everything else in it still sticks, but that one little part I got to mess with. But I thought everybody should know. And Tom, well, I'm excited about the new Jurassic Park because Tyrannosaurus that can swim, that's terrifying. That's not exciting. That's scary stuff. Okay. So we've got all this. I want to go. Let's see. We show Ubiquitous. I showed the Patreon thingy. Now let's jump in. What other things could we use? Small LEDs. I want to see what this gives us. Because these are the kinds of things that maybe we could put in, we could maybe wire. You know what else would work? Oh man, I don't know why I didn't think of this. You could get a string of Christmas lights. You could paint up just a piece of cardboard background or something, poke some holes in it, and put Christmas lights through it with whatever color the Christmas light is, and game on. That would be pretty sweet as well. That would give you a nice sort of futuristic look that might work out. Let me make sure before we stop the, or before I get cracking too much on all this, that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, now these tiny LED lights, what do we have here? Warm white and cool white. $11.99. Now I was looking at some of these at one point and the reviews were really bad. So watch out for that too. I want to look through right now and see if these are different ones than what I saw before, because I want to make sure. Well, look at that. 5.0 on the, well, 1 rating. Never mind, this doesn't really count so much. But you might be able to pick these up. These are fairly cheap. Let me see, 15 pieces, batteries for crab doll, blah, 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 miniature LEDs. Like, I'm always looking at stuff like this to get like small light to maybe, say if you're looking at a monitor, a robot's looking at a monitor in front of them, then you put some of these LEDs between the monitor and the robot, and it looks like the monitor is shining lights on the figure. Obviously, you can use these if, say, Iron Man is also looking at a monitor, or Captain America, whoever. But let me look. What I'm trying to find right now, I want to know what the size of these guys are. Let's see, warm white, including 2 colors of warm white and cool white, sufficient number of extra spare batteries. Let's see, size details. The dollhouse lights measure about 1.5 by 1 centimeter, which is 0.59, so basically 0.6 inches by 0.4 inches. So those are pretty small. Those would probably work for a whole lot of different applications we could try. And I mean, for that much money, for $11.99, I don't know, even if they didn't do great for a long time, maybe that's an okay investment. So just something to look at, something to think about with all these backgrounds or futuristic kind of things that we're thinking of right now. Might be something to try, something to give a shot to, you know? Give a shot. We're talking photography. That's funny. Okay. Star. What have you? Speaking of futuristic tech and bot looks, has anyone heard anything new about Tron Ares? I have not. Like I said, man, Godzilla -1. That's about it. I've never seen a Tron movie. Now I don't know. I don't know when the next time I see anything is, because I saw the Godzilla -1. Now it might be I just don't watch anything for another year. That's not going to happen. Don't worry. Pixelated, there's some small LEDs made for the NECA street diorama. Those might work okay depending on placement. Do you know where I can find those, Pixelated? I can't imagine they're actually on NECA's site, are they? Ironic Bionic. Been a bit, man. Good to see you. Plastic milk / plastic crates make cool backgrounds and are pretty portable. Oh, I would not have thought of those either. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Has anybody else tried using those in shots? Those would just be fun all around, I would think. John, I need some lights for my shelves and I'm using for display right now. Nice. I've been thinking about using like those string lights, those string LEDs that you can cut wherever. I've been thinking those for my shelving, but I don't know yet. Skew LED lights and the scenery in the eyes help. Use monitors, phones, iPads, Kindles, Nintendo Switches as comm screen stations. Put a pic in the pic in the pic. Skew, that's a good call too. Like little pieces of tech that you've already got. Yeah, that's sweet. And I'm trying to think. So when we're talking eyes, so obviously because I use Photoshop, there are certain things I just default to when it comes to Photoshop usage. I always just use Photoshop on a lightsaber, and I always use them on laser eyes, like what Transformers have. So help me out, Skew. Is there something I could do differently besides maybe say some reflective tape or something in the eyes that would involve LEDs. Because one thing I would like to be able to do is make all the effects happen without necessarily needing Photoshop. Like, I'm never going to be that guy that doesn't use Photoshop. I will, at the very least, use it for color adjustments. But it would be nice to get the picture shot and then only have to crop and do color adjustments. So if anybody has any good ideas about how to do eyes, let me know. Ironic. Also, some of the reflective and metallic bubble mailers. Oh, that's a cool call too. I have to look at those now. Dang it, man. All right, Anton, what have ye? I saw the trailer for the new Tron movie. It looks interesting. It's something about Tron's world entering our world. Huh. Yeah, I don't I feel like I would have to see the first Tron before seeing whatever's new. Only like the only reason I saw Godzilla minus one was on you guys saying it's one of the best Godzilla movies. So I watched that instead of the original. So thanks to you, Dave, I opened like 4 figures last week. You're welcome, John. Actually making a dent in my backlog. Doc Knock, ATL 25, Junkyard Joe, and a wrestling fig I got for the head. I know you had brought up, I know you said Doc Knock and ATL 25. I think you opened Doc Knock during one of the streams because you were talking about how awesome he was. I forgot that you had Junkyard Joe though. That's fun, John. I'm glad you popped him open, man. These things deserve to breathe. And obviously, you need to pop more open because you might have another Doc Knock style figure waiting at some point. The figure has him, or you Photoshop it, or you send him to Tragic Hero. You know what? That's probably the way. Tragic, I need you to put in some LEDs in these eyes, please. Star, could you use laser pointers to beam the dots on the eyes for photos? You absolutely could. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that that wouldn't work, Star. Oh, that's a good call. The only problem I would have with that is if you want to hit both eyes, you'd need some kind of clamp or something to hold the pointers in place. But that could be something I think anybody could rig up, like a clamp or even some really strong putty to hold them so that you don't miss it. And depending on the pointers, no, I think it's a great idea. You might have to, though, be fairly close to the figure. So it might be something you have to worry about cropping out. But I really like the idea. That might be something I'm able to try at some point here soon. You can see I'm trying to spitball how it's all going to work as you guys are suggesting all this. Ghost have something I did for my display cabinets. I turn on motion detector at night. So when somebody walks the house late at night, the motion detector will turn on and light up the display cases. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool, Ghost have. See, my display is just in the office, but that would be fun. I just walk in there and all my stuff lights up. That'd be sweet. Anton, the only thing about Godzilla minus one that I didn't like, I think, that the pilot should have died at the end, but that's just me. You know what I enjoyed about the fact that the pilot didn't die? Is you thought for sure that the mechanic that was throughout the movie, you thought for sure he thought this pilot was such a piece of trash that he should die. Like it is his destiny. He must die. And then you find out that the handle that he put in the plane was the ejector seat. I was like, wow. Like it was almost like an arc fulfilled for both the pilot and the mechanic because of that ejector seat. So I thought that was cool. The one I wasn't sure about, like I said, was well, the one at the very end that survived. When you watch the movie and you're thinking, how is that even possible? That's the only thing that threw me a little bit. Ghost Dev. Let's see. Ghost Dev. Now that's interactive. Yeah, that's sweet. I set up a timer so they only work at night. Best night light when somebody walk late at night when all is dark. See, in my office, so what I've got is I've got a window. So it's a perfect photo office. It's like a photo studio and it's fantastic because there is no light coming from outside. The only light that's in the building that comes into my office is from a window and my front door. And I'm going to get those tinted so that not as much light comes in. And off to the side of the window and the front door are two separate rooms. One, I basically have workout equipment. So basically, the first thing I do when I go to my office is exercise. And then behind that is my live stream room or my office where I have everything on display. Both of those rooms are completely dark unless I turn on a light 24/7. So that's why I'm thinking it wouldn't even have to be a night light. It could just be a straight up motion sensor because that's rad. Skew, very awesome night light. Yep. Ghost Tab, fun fact at the end of Godzilla -1, the romantic interest shows signs of radioactive poison on her blood veins in the neck. Best Godzilla end, in my opinion, is the final scene in Shin Godzilla. Ah, I haven't seen that. Godzilla -1, the first one I saw, the first kaiju movie I've seen. I think I tried getting through a King Kong one, and I just didn't. It might have been the one with Jack Black. So maybe maybe that was the problem. I kid. I don't think Jack Black is terrible. It's just he's only Jack Black. That thing on her neck is why she's still with us. I'm sure many who were caught in that blast survived the same way. In the Godzilla world, radiation sickness apparently improves you. Who knew? I had no idea. We did notice the thing on her neck, but that's crazy. Ghost Tab, FYI, motion detector with LED lights cost me $10 USD, dirt cheap. Lights start at the floor and go up to the top. That is dirt cheap, Ghost Tab. That might be the way, man. That actually sounds awesome. And it would be sweet if I could do that and adjust the lighting while it was on so it wasn't so bright for doing things like live streams. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, all I have to do is take tomorrow's photo, probably come up with a Patreon freebie, but that probably shouldn't take too long as well. After that, I'm going to Xfinity and I'm going to say, okay, how crazy is the cost to get something with some Wi-Fi for my office and when it can it be done? Because I need to start live streaming from there. Ghost Tab, I also use staples to keep the LED lights locked. Ah, okay. All right. I might need to look up how to do some of this stuff. That's going to be awesome. All right, guys. So, one other thing that I thought of when it comes to shooting robots, let me get out of this screen here. And I don't know if I have something on here that shows it really well. I might not. So, bear with me. I know that Star earlier had brought up using harsh light so you could get a lot of really bright light going on one side, which would cast a lot of dark light going on the other for a high contrast look for robots. And high contrast is phenomenal because it makes things look a lot more metallic. Like if anybody has the Mofex Iron Man, he has a nice shine on his suit, on the red specifically. And so I can go in when I shoot that figure and mess with it just ever so slightly because of that shine. That shine helps with contrast. And I just have to up the contrast a little bit. And it legit looks metallic, which is cool. Transformers, specifically Hasbro Transformers, don't have that. And I looked it up. If they were to create them using shiny plastic, whenever they transform, you'd scuff the shiny plastic. So I can't give them a whole lot of crap. When I think about it, Takara's Final Tech line and their Masterpiece lines, both, they just had plastic except the outer shells of the cars for many of the parts. So I understand why, I get why we're looking at fairly dull plastic with robots. It makes total sense. So here's the other thing I was thinking. We've got the one thing that Star was talking about where you hit it with harsh light. We've got that aluminum foil or slash kind of silver side on that reflector I showed you that can really bend light and make it look a little more shiny on the robot. You also, with any photo editing app, you can go in and you can mess with the contrast in the image. And so if you mess with the contrast enough, you're going to bring up the lights, make them brighter, and you're going to take down the darks, make them darker, and that'll add even more contrast, allow even more of a metallic look. Now, if you have Photoshop, one of the things you could do there, because usually what I'll do is I'll use an adjustment layer, which affects the entire image. If you have Photoshop, you can go in and only mask off, say, the background or the robot or whatever, so that you're only working on the robot. So you're only making brightness and contrast adjustments on the robot itself. That way, if, say, they're in what's supposed to be a natural setting, trees and deserts or whatever, then that maintains its normal look. But with the robot, you can really punch it up, masking off the stuff. So that's another way. If you have Photoshop, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, no worries. I need to keep doing some of those tutorials. I do have a Photoshop tutorial on masking on the channel. So if anybody's trying to figure out how to do that, they have Photoshop and they've never done it before, you can go find that and you'll be good to go. So those are the ways I can think of to specifically work with robots when it comes to photos. Star, any new ways to photograph bots underwater? I think fog and smoke in dark rooms is apparently the go-to current method for non-digital means. I don't know. I've never tried to shoot a robot with any kind of water effect, so I couldn't tell you. Um, I did create a bubble effect. So what you could do again, if you have Photoshop, is you could take a picture of a robot in any setting, and then you could overlay that bubble effect, and it would look like there's bubbles in the image, so that it could look like they're underwater. One of the things that you could try doing, and I know I've seen The Amazing uses a lot of this stuff for his picks, is going to a pet store. They have ultra colorful plants, so let's say you want to do, say, a picture on a reef or something like that. You can use those ultra colorful plants. You can set up maybe, I don't know, maybe a light box. Maybe you can set up just a black piece of poster board behind it or something like that. Set up all those things, stand your robot in the middle of it, and then use that bubbles overlay and see what you could get there. But that's just thinking right off the top of my head. I've never tried to do a water shot. So that might be something I need to mess with, Star. All right, Anton. And I noticed the roar at the very end of the movie as So Godzilla Lives. Yeah, it looked like his head was regenerating, which was kind of messed up. Excuse Star. Photoshop has filters, but CapCut and other editors have cool underwater filters too. Oh, nice. I don't know that I played with CapCut, Skew. So, yeah, that might be something I mess with. I was using Adobe Express or Photoshop Express over the weekend to just play, and that's pretty amazing, but it doesn't do the adjustment layers like the regular version does, which is a little disappointing. Ghost Tab, they're called motion sensor light strip. I went for the cheapest brand, so I can't tell you which one is the best to get. That's okay, Ghost Tab. I would probably go for the cheapest brand as well. I appreciate the heads up. Okay. Star, what have ye? Ah, still more ants. Honestly, I think I'd have more fun creating new ways for images by hand rather than Photoshop and push button perfection. Yeah, you might, it might work. I wonder, oh, Star, here we go. So you set up kind of like what we were talking about, but instead of using a bubbles overlay, get like the bubbles that you just blow. Like get one of those things and just blow bubbles at the image and see if you can have somebody or see if you have somebody else blow the bubbles on the image and you go back and snap the shot and see what happens. You might get a really cool effect. Like you don't even need to blow them at the plants and the figure, blow them in front of there That might do something, especially if you're trying not to use Photoshop so much with it. Anton, everybody have a good night. Goodbye. Good night, Anton. Have a great one, man. And thanks as always for stopping by. Gustav, I thought for water shots you would get an acrylic glass in an aquarium box to use it as a filter. You could. I mean, you could totally do that. You could even you could do most anything that has high translucency, like just a little bit of a fade. Acrylic glass is a good call. I have just regular acrylic, like a good, I think I've shown you guys, I have a giant light table. And so on top of the light table is a piece of glass, and just below the glass is a large piece of acrylic. But it's too opaque to use as something like what you're suggesting. But yeah, I mean that's possible. That might be what people do use. Like I say, I haven't tried one of those, so that could be something very cool to give a shot to. Give a shot. I keep going with the camera puns. Ironic star. I've seen some use plastic wrap for water effects. That's right. You could do like roll up kind of crinkle plastic effect. Sorry guys, like saran wrap or plastic wrap, whatever, against kind of a shoreline, and it looks like waves hitting the shore. Now that doesn't help for underwater, but that could be something that I think I've seen that as well, but not for underwater. Again, I don't know about underwater. I've used blue poster board and shrink wrap to simulate water for a Gundam shot. Oh, nice, Clank. Did it work out for you? Were you happy with it? Skew Star, you still have to play with the filters and tools. There's a refracted wave layer along with Dave's bubbles. Not too easy, but not hard. Just work with them. I need to look at CapCut now. Star Ironic, nice. Didn't think of that one. Yeah, you can also shine light through a glass bowl filled with water to get the water refraction effect. That's a good call too. Ooh, I'm liking it, Ironic. You could even do that. I'm wondering how that would look just if you weren't trying to get the underwater shot. If you were really still and you shined the glass or shined it through the water, shine light through the water to just hit a robot on the other side, what kind of metallic look would that give? Oh, so much to think about. This is sweet, guys. Star next time, Anton. Skew, I like that too. Yep. Yeah, it sounds cool. Miss Cogsmith, sorry that I'm quiet today. I was doing some silly toy shots and yard work out in the sun, and now I'm melted. Did you? Yeah, I assume since you're the one that brought it up earlier, you took some sunscreen with you, didn't you, Miss Cogsmith? You don't want to melt too much. We don't. I know we're sweet people, but we really shouldn't be melting. But I bet the shots ended up cool. I always end up busy during stream days, so I really appreciate that you save the streams for future reference. No problem, Miss Cogsmith. I have to. It's fun. I probably have more fun. Like I get to be more creative when I make videos, like regular videos, but I have more fun with these, I think, just because you guys are such a blast to talk to. I sure did. SPF 50. Nice. All right. What do we got? It's 8:27. Ladies and gentlemen, are we pretty much set? Does anybody else have something that they've got that they think could add in to help out with all this? Any more ideas when it comes to shooting bots? Miss Miss Cogsmith, I get cloud burn frequently. Ah, not cool, man. Not cool. Star, the early Godzilla films from Toho are a veritable goldmine of ideas. Ig Subaraya was a genius. Look up some of the ways he made shots work. Beyond brilliant. Okay, I will totally look that up. Thank you, Star. Let's see. Goldmine ideas. IG. Hold on. Let's also Clank had sent me some stuff we're gonna look at real quick before we get out of here. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking a picture of the name that you sent me there, Star. Much appreciated. Okay, and I was going to show you guys what Clank sent on the phone, but how about instead I just get on the computer because it's going to be a lot easier. We're going to see things a lot clearer. And I will be getting back to all this stuff very soon. Don't worry. Let's see here. All right. We have stuff. We have things. Give me just a. Ooh, I like. Okay. Hang on. Clankatron showed something crazy here. Check that out. That's Meg's, right? That is nice. Oh, that's with. Oh man, that's almost like it's almost like dull light, but it was hard enough to give it just this crazy silhouette on that side. And I love the red eye being shown there as well. Clankatron, if you're still in the chat, this is awesome, man. Okay, let's get out of there. I think he sent another. Oh, that Motor Master shot. That's nice too. That would be one of those ones. I believe he was the one talking about shooting from the ground up to make the robot look absolutely massive. And I think that pretty much gets the job done. Miss Cogsmith, ironic, real, it can happen. Man, I am lucky. I am lucky with my pigment, which is weird because the southernmost country that my ancestry has me from so far is France. So I shouldn't be able to get this dark. Like the rest of my family, my dad, when he was alive, he had a pigment like I do. No one else in my family does. They're all super white. So I am lucky in that way. Sci-fi. Never forget, Dave, you can use all of the Joe Ninjas and Samurai for other lines such as backups for the hand or mercenaries. Okay, Sci-fi, here's something I didn't tell you, you jerk. Check this out. I ended up pre-ordering Slice and Dice, and I'm blaming you 1,000%. I looked at those after the stream, and I'm like, oh, you're killing me. But yeah, Slice and Dice will be mine. And now Mr. Stabby's coming after you. Yeah, these are great shots. Star Willis O'Brien from the first King Kong film in 1933 created some of the most groundbreaking methods for photos and film that's still being used today. His concepts are legendary. Well, this is a theme now, Star. I'm gonna sit here and take a picture of Willis O'Brien's name. Much appreciated, man. I will definitely be looking these guys up because one thing I need to do is get as much photo reference and understanding of all this stuff that I absolutely and possibly can. Clank, thanks, guys. I'm glad you're still here, Clank. These are sweet. These are very cool. I want to go. Hang on. Here's what I'm doing now. We're just straight up going to your page, my friend. All right. Oh, that's sweet. The composition on that one, I really like too. Like the way it's like sometimes you see a shot and it looks like the background was made for the figure. And that's kind of what you did there. That looks really cool. Oh, man. I like that one just because of the contrast. It's obviously metallic, but still freaky. Clank, these are really cool, man. Ah, and are these Zoids? Hang on. Or are they actually Transformers? Because I don't recognize this. Ironic, for your information, those Marvel Legend Chamber figs make cool biker gang switching heads. Really? And I wonder, did Chambers sell really well, or can we get him fairly cheaply right now? I wonder. Sci-fi slice and dice? Isn't that what Mr. Stabby's gonna do to you? Thanks for that. No, 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 no. He has been well informed. He's coming after you. Those are the Transformers 4 Dinobots. Okay. I forgot. Like, I know that they did, like, Studio Series did a Grimlock, but they haven't done any of the others yet, correct? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I like the darkness. It's almost like he's sitting in an alley somewhere. Oh, I love that shot, Clank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not following Clankatron yet and you're really trying to figure out how to shoot some Transformers and some robots, give this man a follow. Like that kind of shot. This is more what I pictured you talking about, Clank. Like I know you sent me that Menasor and he looked huge, but this is more what I was thinking when you were explaining it. Is I mean that thing just looks like an absolute beast at that angle. Yep. Good stuff, my friend. Very nice. Not funny. Not funny, Skew. That sci-fi made me spend money, and now Mr. Stabby is angry. Mr. Stabby, he takes his vengeance out quite swiftly. It's why I've got a cut on my shin. Okay, I have a cut on my shin because when we were opening tables for the wedding, I had to kick one of them open and my shin accidentally kicked the top of the table. But still, I think Mr. Stabby would have done that had that table not done it to me first. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would say that's probably what we've got for this fine evening. So, thanks as always for stopping by. I learned so much talking to you guys. This is the kind of chat I really love. It's when I can help you out, when you can help me out. These are the good times. So, I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming on here and having a good time. It was a blast for me. I hope it was a blast for all of you. Sci-fi has no Mr. Stabby. I have Mr. Boomstick. He always asks if I prefer armor piercing or hollow points when I purchase the articulated things. See, Mr. Boomstick, though, he does things quicker. Mr. Stabby's all about the torture. Mr. Stabby's like, truly, it will be a death of a thousand cut situation. So, Mr. Madsen, good to see you, man. All right, guys. So that's it. That's what I've got for this one. So thanks again. It was a blast. You could have done anything. You hung out here with all of us, and we appreciate it. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. I know wave.